What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video from your favorite Florida family. Chances are, if you clicked on this video, it's because you yourself are contemplating a move to the Sunshine State. And although, for the most part, it is all sunshine and rainbows, there are some cons that we want to talk about as well.
Excuse me? Believe it or not, this list was super hard to make.
You know, I really wanted to balance it so we had an equal number of cons as we do pros. However, it was so easy to come up with the pros and not so easy to come up with the cons, but nonetheless, we'll bring them to you.
We make all sorts of videos
About moving to Florida.
and all the fun things you can do once you get here.
So if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe down below
Hit that bell,
so you don't miss any of our uploads
especially when we go live
to answer your questions.
Sunshine, blue skies, it's a state of mind that we came to find. I'm talking about palm trees, we're making memories. I don't wanna leave this sunshine state of mind.
Hey Lindsay, I like your shirt.
I like yours too.
If you're interested in getting a shirt just like these beauties right here, check the link in the description of this video for our merch store. All right, hun, so how do you want to do this? Should we do a pro, a con? Should we just give them all the pros, all the cons? Which way should we do it?
I think we should flip back and forth.
Flip back and forth. How about a pro? You want to start?
I can start. So one of our biggest pros is the lifestyle.
There's no other place in this country that you can have the lifestyle that you have in Florida. Well, maybe with the exception of Hawaii.
Very true. And guys, when we say lifestyle, we're not just talking about sunshine all day.
Blue skies,
Yeah.
palm trees. We're making memories. You get it now?
Good one.
Whatever your lifestyle may be, Florida has got you covered. Want to be laid back and just chill? Florida. Are you a sportsman? There's no other place in this country that has the freshwater fishing, saltwater fishing, hunting that Florida does. And just the overall laid back way that everybody goes about their lives here in Florida, everybody's in a good mood.
It's so hard to be sad here when it's sunshine.
There's a reason people call it Florida lifestyle. When we talk about the Florida lifestyle, one of the main things we want you to recognize is that Florida is good for your health, whether it's your physical health or your mental health. Since we've moved down here, and lots of you have even brought this to our attention or said something from watching our earlier videos, Lindsay and I have both lost a significant amount of weight. And you know what? We have not changed our diet or exercise any differently than we did when we lived in Wisconsin.
So one of the biggest things Eric and I noticed when we first moved here was our appetite. Our appetite has changed.
It has.
So
And
much.
It's because of the heat. That's my thought. When I'm really hot, I don't like to eat as much. And we spend so much time out and about that for the most part, we're pretty hot a lot of the time.
Right, and I find myself craving more healthier foods, and I don't know if it's just because of the heat or it always feeling like summer here, but like, you know, vegetables, fruits, those kinds of things are more of our go-to when we're in the heat and we're running around. We are so active here in Florida, way more active than we were back home.
Want to get healthy? Move to Florida. Let's talk about one of the few cons we were able to find about the state of Florida. And a big one for me is the traffic, especially around larger cities.
Guys, we've actually talked about this before. We made a video, and I'll have Eric put it right there.
But just like I was saying, guys, the traffic is mainly the worst around these larger metropolitan cities. Cities like Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, Miami. Places like that are going to have a very high concentration of traffic. And it's not just the traffic that's the con about it. Some of these areas as a whole are just plain getting crowded with people. And that is the reason you're seeing these new communities pop up all over the place.
Now back to the pros, and this one is for you beach lovers.
Other than Alaska, Florida has more coastline than any other state. And although Alaska's coastline is beautiful, you just can't use it for the same things you can in Florida. You like surfing?
Move to Florida.
Like fishing?
Move to Florida.
How about sailing?
Move to Florida.
Paddleboarding?
Florida.
You guys get the point. Florida has more coastline, like we said, than any other state, with the exception of Alaska.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
But it gives you so many opportunities to do so many different things, whether it just be laying on the beach, bringing the kids there to swim for the day, or all the other outdoor activities that we just mentioned.
And not just that, we can use our beaches almost all year round.
Here in Florida, especially in the southern part of the state, you can swim at the beaches year round. Now on to another con about Florida. And this one is one that we noticed personally. People seem to come and go a lot. And what we mean by that is that there's more people moving into Florida on a daily basis than any other state. So we get that people come a lot. But we've also noticed that people are moving out a lot. Whether it be that their move didn't work out, it wasn't well planned, or they just found out that Florida's not right for them. People do leave Florida.
This can make getting close to people pretty difficult because we don't know who's staying and who's going.
And even with the kids' schools, we notice that there's been a high turnover of teachers. Whatever the reason for that is, we're not sure, but we do see more teachers leaving than we did when we lived in Wisconsin.
So our next pro, pretty obvious one, no state tax.
Guys, that's a big deal when it comes to what kind of salary or pay you're going to get at a job you receive when you get down here. Depending on your tax bracket and income, no state income tax could mean a lot more on your check that you get to take home.
So this next one kind of has our house sort of divided.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yes, so it's bugs and creatures. Now if Sully was out here, that would be one of his pros. But for me, it's a con.
I know that we've told you before that, the mosquitoes and bugs aren't as bad as everybody else says. Keep in mind that Florida has bugs year round. If you're coming from, say, where we came from, the Midwest, you're only dealing with bugs in the summertime. It's summer year round here almost, so there are bugs from January through December.
And if you don't stay on top of it, they can really take over your house, especially the fire ants.
And it's not just bugs that people are turned off by. It's snakes, it's alligators, it's sharks. The wildlife here is definitely something I would consider a pro, but many other people might consider a con. Our next pro is one that many of you might not even believe, because I've heard people complain the opposite of this. Believe it or not, Florida's cost of living is actually pretty low. Now, by pretty low, it's not as low as other states like Mississippi, who, by the way, is the lowest cost of living in the country. It's about middle of the road, but it is comparable to states like Arizona, Wisconsin, Utah, and North Dakota. Seeing as though we came from one of those states, Wisconsin, we can definitely back that up. I would say the cost of living here in Florida is very comparable to the cost of living in Wisconsin. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
The cost of living is determined by a number of factors, including housing price, price of gas, price of groceries, and other living essentials.
So the only thing that we've really noticed in this category that gets you is the entertainment. Obviously, coming from a small town in Wisconsin, we didn't have all these options.
Right, our entertainment was going to the movies where you get a $13 movie ticket.
So that's where the expense can really creep up on you, and you can look at it more as, wow, Florida is so expensive. It's expensive because there's so many opportunities and so many things out there that everybody wants to do, and it costs money.
Keep in mind, guys, Florida offers so many state parks and so many beaches that are either free or only cost about $8 to get in for your vehicle. So if you're looking for something fun to do and you want to keep the cost down, keep things like that in mind.
All right, guys, so we're diving into another con, which is kind of a con, kind of not. It all depends on what you're looking for. But when you first get here, it can definitely be hard to find that small town, little community.
If you're anything like us, we are from a small town in Wisconsin, like Lindsay stated earlier, and we really yearned for that small town community feel. And for us, we did not feel that the moment that we moved here. Now, things have gotten much better since we found great sport organizations to put our kids in, good schools, adequate health care, things like that. But finding it can definitely be a hard road to navigate, especially if you're coming from a place thousands of miles away.
But I definitely think that a lot of it is based on where you decide to move in Florida. You can definitely find that small little southern charm community. It all just depends on where you land in Florida.
Don't know exactly what town's right for you in Florida? make sure you join our Facebook group, Let's Move to Florida, a group by Florida with 5. The link to that group is down in the description of this video. We have all sorts of members that would love to help you out and help you pinpoint the perfect location for you.
So the next pro about living in Florida is pretty obvious, and that's it's beautiful here.
Oh my gosh, where else in this country can you find the most beautiful beaches, pristine freshwater springs, jungles, amazing natural formations, and don't forget guys, the Everglades.
Florida definitely has its ecosystems for everybody. So this next con doesn't really affect me, believe it or not, as much as it affects Eric, and that's the holidays. Take a little bit of getting used to because of the weather.
And the main one that you think of is Christmas. But guys, as we're making this video, it's Halloween in 2 days. And look at us, we're out here in t-shirts, sweating. If you get a pumpkin anytime before, a couple days before Halloween, and set it out on your front porch, it's gonna wilt almost immediately.
Now Eric had a little bit of trouble last Christmas with it being so warm. Florida does such a good job of getting into the holiday spirit. I didn't even really notice that it was 90 some degrees out while we're cutting our Christmas tree out because it's just magic all around.
It's because you were too busy taking Instagram pictures is why you didn't notice.
That's true.
But in all honesty, guys, it does take some getting used to, and cutting a Christmas tree down when it's 85 degrees out is definitely a different experience, and it really, for me, kind of took the magic out of Christmas, although once we got the tree in and we're going around and looking at everybody's Christmas lights with the palm trees, it was absolutely beautiful. And Disney Springs puts on a great show every year for Christmas, as well as all the theme parks, and really everybody that's moving down from these northern states misses Christmas, so they all go big here.
They go big, and especially Celebration. I mean, what they do there with the lighting of the tree and the fake snow and the carolers.
That's true, and
Guys,
if you forget, we made a video about Celebration Christmas right here.
So fear not, Florida has enough holiday magic to go around.
Let's talk about our last con on this list, and that's that Florida healthcare takes a little bit to get used to.
It does. It definitely does. And if anyone's been watching us for a long time, you guys know we had the struggles in the beginning, but once you kind of navigate through the system, you will find that things will become much easier. For us, it was just getting used to it being different. It's just different.
That's the main thing, guys.
That's a word you're going to hear a lot, especially if you get down here and you get set up. It's different.
The schools are different, the healthcare is different, and guys, we made a video somewhat about the healthcare in Florida, which we'll link right up here. However, we should probably make a new one.
I think we definitely need to update that video.
Moving on to our final and probably the best pro on this list. Live where you vacation.
Guys, it can't get better than that.
If you've been following us for any amount of time, you know that we go on adventures that normally are reserved for vacations on almost every weekend. And you can too.
So what are you waiting for? Come on.
There's plenty of room for you, and we'd welcome you with open arms. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.